This weekend is Lights Out. It's a tournament hosted by a friend of mine, Mr. Madgear. He did one back in Street Fighter V that was offline, and they did one online, and now we're doing one for Street Fighter 6. It's open to the US, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, so I'll leave that down in the description if you want to sign up. Anyways, this is going to be my first Street Fighter 6 tournament, and my first tournament in a while, actually. I think the last bracket I played in was probably Texas Showdown. I don't think I played in anything after that. This is really awkward, but I forgot to record the part where I ask you to like scroll down and check if you're subbed because we're getting very close to 10,000. So I'm just going to put it right here. But this tournament is on, I think, Saturday. We have about 5 days left, and I'm going to make a little series of videos here where I show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm training for the tournament, and then ultimately the tournament itself. Which I know last time I said that, I didn't make a video about Texas Showdown. I said I was going to make a video about what happened, and then I just forgot. I ended up getting like 30, I think I got 33rd or 32nd or something like that. I lost one round away from making it out of my pool, so that kind of sucks. But this time I'll make sure to be able to document my first Street Fighter 6 tournament. I think that'd be really cool just to have. As for what we're going to talk about, I want to show you guys how I prepare for a tournament, or how I think you should prepare for a tournament. I think best case scenario, you play offline against like really strong players, but that's just not, you know, it's kind of not in the cards for me right now because I live out in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And the only game they really seriously play here is Tekken. And I think they play a little bit of Smash, but nobody really plays Street Fighter. They're kind of like dabbling in it with 6. I went and played offline for the first time, actually, I think yesterday. And, you know, they're still learning. They're still trying to pick up Street Fighter. They're all very good at Tekken, though. I was just happy to play the game offline for the first time and figure out how to go through the menus when you play offline. That's something pretty funny when you sit down. When you sit down offline and you sit at like a PlayStation or a PC or whatever, you have to like go through the menus and figure out how to set your buttons up for the first time because it's a brand new game. And if you're on the PlayStation, you gotta fucking fiddle around with the buttons on the top of your stick to try and figure out which one's the PlayStation one because you never use it. I vividly remember sitting down at my first setup when I played 5 and my opponent having to like reach over and press the buttons on my stick to like sign into the PlayStation. This show is so funny. But playing offline is always fun, you know, community experience. The second best way though to practice for a tournament, I think, is playing long sets against very strong players. But that's what you're seeing in the background here. This is me playing with my friend Austin. If you've been on this channel for a long time, you know who this is. He played Dalsum in 5 and he played a little bit of Ryu, right? I used a lot of our gameplays in videos. In this game though, he's playing Chun now. He doesn't really play JP anymore. He got to Masters very quickly and then said, I'm going to play Chun because I think everybody is playing JP, so he wanted a little bit of character diversity. Also, the fact that they hosted like a pretty big local down in Houston, and when all my friends showed up, there was like, I think there was like 4 or 5 JPs in that bracket, so I guess he just didn't want to play the same character as everybody else. We played a long set of Manon versus Chun, and then I played some Cammy versus Chun, and then at the end, to help me out, he switched to JP because I don't think Manon actually loses to JP. It's just really difficult if you don't know what's going on. Like if you have to know the matchup against JP, and if the JP player knows the matchup, like if they're a very strong player who knows all their options, it can be very difficult. And I find in ranked that a lot of the times I'm either just beating like JP gimmicks, or like it's JP players who if you get really close to them, they're just gonna start jumping around and like scrambling. So it's not, I feel like it's just not very good practice. But against somebody like Austin who knows, you know, 1, knows the matchup, 2, knows their character, but also adapts, like actually changes based on what I'm doing, it makes the game, 1, more fun, but I think it's better practice. But in general, I feel like on this character, when I'm playing Manon, like I play super patient. Like I'm okay with just blocking for a while, parrying for a while, looking for openings. I don't find myself engaging too much, but mostly like looking for an opening, like looking for my opponent to make a mistake, and then using you know, heavy punch target combo, or like stand medium punch, stand medium kick target combo to like suck them in, or I do stand medium punch drive rush a lot of the time. It's a lot of like, I think, waiting and seeing and just being patient, you know. I feel like it's a character that just takes a lot of patience, and against JP, you have to be even more patient, right? Mostly in this matchup, what I'm looking for is spike. You know, when he shoots a spike out of the ground, it's -2, but it has like 22 frames of recovery, which means after you block the spike, you get a free dash on I think every single character except for Geef and Marissa, and they can dash, but they're susceptible to be hit by an EX spike afterwards. All the other characters can block. And so it becomes this game of like, I'm going to block the fireballs and I'm going to parry them and kind of take my space slowly. And then I'm going to see a spike, and that's my sign to dash forward and take up a lot of space. And then occasionally they'll throw like a command grab out, and that's an even bigger opportunity for you to like jump in and get a big hit, right? Because that thing takes forever to recover. You might be able to jump and then drive rush if you're too far away and still be able to punish him. But that's one of the matchups I needed to practice, because there's a lot of JPs in these brackets, as well as I wanted to play against his Chun, because I don't run into that character really like at all in ranked, for good reason, right? She's pretty difficult, she's pretty complex, and she takes a lot of labbing. It takes like a very specific type of player to pick up that character. But I know the one time that I sign up for a tournament, I'll probably run into like my first Chun. So I wanted to make sure I had some experience and understood her kit a little bit better and how to play against it. And I have some other friends that play super difficult matchups, like DJ, for example, I think is really tough for Manon. Lily. I think Lily is tough, but it's winnable. DJ feels like hell on earth, brother. Like that that matchup feels fucking terrible. I hate playing against that character. I don't even know if that's the matchup or if I just can't play against the character very well, because he is tough, right? If DJ does drive rush and he goes into, I think, crouch medium kick, the one that knocks you down, I try to check it every single time, no matter what, and I will get knocked down like 6-7 times a game just trying to react to it, you know? I just hate the idea of letting him get in full screen for free. Like like it irks me to the point where I always feel like I need to react and try and stop it, but sometimes you just can't. Most of the times you just can't. Also, the damage that he puts out is phenomenal, but we'll save that for another video. But I have friends who play DJ, Lily, Marissa, and Honda, and I'll probably play a little bit more against JP and maybe even the Mirror. And then I'll have to find some people to play against for Ken and probably Blanca. I feel like Blanca, I just kind of hope that I don't get matched against him. That's kind of my strategy. But yeah, other than playing offline sets and then playing strong players online in long sets, I guess my only other option is ranked, right? That's kind of like it's kind of a good way to get used to the 2 out of 3 format, playing against different types of playstyles and players. Ranked has its merits. It just gets very annoying to me sometimes, like the way that some people play, and in turn force me to play in order to beat them. Like some people only do one thing, so I just have to sit and block and wait for the one thing. Specifically Kimberly players, I'm looking at you. A lot of them will just run, like they will just do command run into a follow-up, not realizing that you can check the run, right? If you didn't know that, you can just check the run. So I played against a Kimberly a couple of days ago, and he was just doing run after run, and I'm just sitting there doing crouch medium punch buffered and spiral arrow over and over again, and he's just coming at me with a new follow-up every time, but he always loses because the run itself can be stopped. The follow-up doesn't really matter at that point. It takes a little bit of spacing though, of course, right? So maybe he was trying to follow up that would beat my spacing, but it didn't really seem like it. As far as the ranking update, you can see I'm at like 22,000 LP, which is, I think I need 600 more for our next star. I realize I'm not really too concerned with it anymore, because it'll just come with time, it feels like. Every day I get on, I just kind of chip away at it. And I just I just have to accept that sometimes I'm going to lose to things that I don't necessarily want to or feel like I should lose to, but it happens. I can't stop every butt slam. I can't react to every DI. I'm gonna make mistakes. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you again very soon.